Hi everyone, Jeri Bellini here. Welcome to episode 14 of Texture Tags on Tuesday. Today we're going to be creating textile collages, and that's what you see here. And what you're going to need for these is some textile waste. And I love to use the string. When you tear your cloth, you often get these strings, and I pull them off and I save them. I also save all my little bits and pieces of cloth after I've cut out circles for my dots. I just love this. And you can use some leftover pieces of ribbon, rickrack. Here's some velvet ribbon here. You can use pieces of lace. You can use metallic thread. You can use mesh netting. You can use interfacing. You can use anything that you have to create these. And you're going to need some Super Solvy. It's a water-soluble stabilizer, and I buy mine in a roll. And let me show you what it looks like. You can buy it in smaller packages too, but I use a lot of it. It just looks like this. So let's get started with our project. Get some of your supplies, and we are going to need a sewing machine for this. So this is some of the threads and yarn and whatnot that I have left over from the weaving projects we've been doing. And I also threw in some cloth. So I did start working on my scroll, and I am videoing that for you. And so I have little tiny pieces of cloth from that in here. And of course it's all in the neutrals natural. And then what you're going to do is just pull out some of your stuff. You definitely don't need this much. Just pull out some, take your rotary cutter and just slice through it to make it small into these small pieces. Now I did want it to have a little bit of shine or shimmer, you might say, so I did pull out some of the ribbon yarn and whatnot, and I put it in there. And also I did want to tell you, because my eye just caught something, this is the seam from some clothing that I took apart. So you can certainly use that too, and I really think it makes for very interesting texture. So, all right, here's my pile. So now I'm going to get rid of that. Here's my piece of Solvy, and I'm going to make a piece just to fit on my texture tag. So I did make the Solvy just a little bit bigger, and I drew a line down the middle of it, because what you're going to do is just put your textile waste on top of this, and just kind of try to spread it out to make it even. But you're going to try to stay on one half of it. That's why I drew a line there. And then what you're going to do is take it to your sewing machine. But before you do that, you're going to fold it in half. And my Solvy has been in a ball, so it's a little unruly. But when you buy it new in the package, it's fine. I'm just going to back this into there, and I'm going to just put 1 or 2 pins down along the edge so that all this stuff doesn't fall out. And then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine. Unfortunately, I'm not going to bring you with me, but I know you'll be able to understand what I'm doing. I'm just going to take it to my sewing machine, and the very first thing I'm going to do is stitch around the whole thing. Just stitch all the way around. And yeah, I'm going to even stitch over here, even though this is folded over. It's just going to like hold it in place. So once I do this stitching all the way around the whole rectangle, then I'm going to just stitch randomly back and forth and zigzag, maybe just do some loopy loops, just like I was doodling. And I'm just going to cover this whole thing, and then I will come back and show it to you. All right, I finished my stitching, and I just went around and up and down and back and forth, and I stitched probably for about 3 minutes for a piece this size. I actually ran out of thread halfway through, which is not a big deal. I just changed my thread. You could use different colors of thread. Just have fun and just go around and round. So now the next thing I'm going to do is super simple. Here's a bowl of water. Use cool water, and you're going to drop this into the water, and you're going to leave it for 10 minutes. Try really hard to resist the urge to take that out of the bowl before the 10 minutes is up. So while I'm waiting for my first piece to soak, I decided to show you how to do a shape. So I drew a heart on half of my salvie, and I put all my little textile waste here, and I just decided to add a little red and a little yellow because I love those two colors together. And keep in mind that whatever's on the bottom of this is going to be one thing, and as you add things on top, so it's going to be double-sided, in other words. So I'm going to fold this over, and I'm just going to make sure that the textile waste is totally underneath where the heart shape is. I'm going to take it to my sewing machine. I am going to put a pin in it first to hold it, and I'm going to take it to my sewing machine, and I'm going to sew around right on top of the heart. And then I'm going to go back and forth inside the heart. So I'll be back in a minute. All right, it's been 10 minutes. So now you just take it out of the water, just squeeze it around a little bit. And you'll see the water's going to get a little cloudy because that's the salvie coming off of your cloth. And it's not going to look like much at this moment, but let it dry. I'll let it dry and I'll come back and show you how pretty it is. I did go and stitch this heart. It's a little lopsided. It's going to be a wonky heart, but I'm going to put that in the water too and leave it for 10 minutes. I probably should have gotten fresh water, but let's see what happens. 10 minutes. All right, I'm back with my finished pieces. I think they came out really good. So I didn't bother to come back and show you the heart after I rinsed it because I did the exact same thing as I did for this piece. But I think it came out really cute, and I decorated the top where I had put the yellow and the red, and the back, I really didn't do much to it. I did take it over to my sewing machine and I just stitched around the outside edge with red, but then I decided, I'm going to put all the stuff on the front. So I wound up using some pearl cotton, and I did a lazy daisy stitch, or this is also called a chain stitch. So you can embroider and add different little bits and bobs on here too. All right, so that one, and here's the one that is going on the tag. And after I let it dry, I took it back to my sewing machine and I doodled around the outside edge with some black thread. And so it looks really the same pretty much on both sides. However, I like this side better for some reason. So this is the one I'm going to put on my tag. And here's my tag. I'm going to use this glue stick and just do that. It's a little bigger than my tag, but that's okay. I'm going to just let it hang off the edge a little bit. And I just want to make sure I could see the number and today's date. So today was a textile collage, and the supplies I used is Super Salvie, and I used textile waste, and I just wrote down a few things what textile waste might be. Some, random threads, bits of cloth, ribbon, yarn, some string. And here's my little how-to. Fold the salvie in half, draw a line, fill half with textile waste, pin it, stitch it on a sewing machine, doodle around the edge, embroider, etc., anything else you can think of, and uses, altered books, sewing projects, backgrounds. I don't know, you could probably think of a lot more things, and if you do, please let me know in the comments below. And right now I'm thinking if you folded this in half, it would make the cutest little miniature book. Wouldn't it? Oh my gosh, I think I'm going to make one. Yes. How adorable is that? All right, so that's today's video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll give it a try, and please, if you're in my Facebook group, show me what you created. And if you didn't know about the Facebook group, there's a link down in the description box below for you if you'd be interested in joining it. We share what we're creating, not only from my channel, but from, other things that you're creating. I certainly love for you to share that. We don't share other YouTube channels or any of that stuff, but you can create anything and everything and share it in our Facebook group, and it's a wonderful place for that purpose. So I hope everyone has a great day, and don't forget to keep moving. Just play, no rules, and remember to find something to be grateful for every day. I still have my gratitude journal, and I still write in it mostly every day. And that's it for now. Bye for now. I will see you again next Tuesday from the beach. Yes. Okay, I had to come back and show you that I did make a little book out of it. Isn't it cute? Oh my gosh. I just used some coffee dyed paper inside and just put a few pages in. I love it.